Hi everyone, old guy here, and this list has kind of a dubious distinction because these aren't necessarily the top 10 books that I hated, which sounds like another list. Because I'd have to finish these books before deciding whether I like them or not. These are books that I didn't get past the required 50 pages, sometimes not even past the first paragraph, before turning it into a frisbee. It could be that I might actually like these books, if I could ever bring myself to restart them. Dunno, not too inclined to take another spoonful of something that was so wretched on first taste. I'm sure you have your own version of a 50-page rule because most of you know that most stories don't get started for a while. There are exceptions. Call Me Ishmael, for example, but that's due to a compelling opening line, which Melville followed with a rather compelling story. Now, not every book can start that way, and you got to be fair. But if you're not at least interested by page 50, then it's tossable. There is a category of books that is tossable almost within the first sentence. Those are the self-published nightmares that are flooding the bookways right now. You know to which I refer. Books that have apparently not been edited nor critiqued by anyone other than the author's mother, who told her what a great story this is, dear. She then bought a $20 cover and threw it up on Amazon and waits to be proclaimed the next Charlotte Bronte. I don't include any of those. That's like shooting fish in a barrel. So, without further ado, number 10. The Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss. I realize what heresy I speak here given the immense popularity of this book, but I could not get past the first 10 pages, let alone 50. It was long ago when I tried, so I really don't remember much of what I read, and I really don't remember specifically what it was that irritated me, only that I found myself going, oh brother, quite a bit. I think it's because every single fantasy trope, including everything in a capital letter, showed up within paragraphs of each other. Now, I'm willing to give this another shot, but not right now. Number 9, The Tommyknockers by Stephen King. This is the book that convinced me King had decided to stop writing and merely trade on his name, convinced the author byline was enough to assure bestseller lists. Now, I've read elsewhere that the good man himself regards this as his worst effort. So, there is redemption. Number 8, Gravity's Rainbow by Thomas Pynchon. What a load of pretentious dreck, apparent by page 25 or so. Now, I fully understand that Pynchon worship is a mark of heightened intellectual capacity and sophistication, and those who do not like his writings are just a bunch of bourgeois shopkeepers. Okay. Number 7, Space by James Michener. I loved Michener's Centennial, regarded as one of my favorite big books of all time, but this one, ooh boy, actually got to about page 100 or so before I tossed it. It is so formulaic, I suspect that Michener actually wrote it in his sleep. Number 6, Red Rising by Pierce Brown. I didn't make it past 10 pages. Felt like I was back in middle school. Number 5, Graceling by Christine Cashore. This is a YA book, and quite a brutal one at that, and filled with so much unbelievable teenage superiority and angst that I felt like I was back in high school. Number 4, The Tank Lords, David Drake. Now, I love space opera and space military stories, and Drake is the Stephen King of the genre, at least based on his production, but I could not get into this at all. Made it to about page 50, I think, but I didn't like the characters. I didn't like the setup. Number 3, Wool by Hugh Howey. I know, this is supposed to be a self-published Wunderbuch, but I stopped right after Howie killed a character that I really liked. I didn't like any of the other characters, so why bother? Add to that an absolutely baffling world with very few hints of what the devil was going on, and, well, Frisbee. Admittedly, I went back months later and finished a great majority of the story, although because of the way this book, story, series is published, I have no idea whether I actually finished it or not. Still didn't like it that much, but got a better idea of the story, and well, okay, it ain't that bad. But I'm not going back. Number 2, Jonathan Livingston Seagull by Richard Bach. Really? Do I actually have to explain? And number 1, Gone with the Wind by Margaret Mitchell. I actually liked this book until about page 100, and by then it was so tedious I just put it down and never went back. So not so much of a Frisbee as a doorstop. I could one day go back to this if I can remember where I left it. Old guy here. See you later.